Welcome back. My name is Thomas. This is GameBreakers. I'm here with Allison, David, and Diamond, and we are playing A Bard's Tale, our D&D 5th edition game. Continuing this episode, you guys have just broken camp, shrunk your instant fortress, and struck off into the Feywild marshes. I'll take some survival checks from the team and see what happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
While I was casually spinning my new dice, I rolled 7 20s.
What'd you roll this time?
16.
I got a total of 5.
But that's plus things.
I got a total of 7, sadly.
Well, we're a team, you and I.
The perception?
We were telling too many limericks.
This is survival.
Oh, survival.
Yes, we'll blame it on the limericks. I'm down for that.
23.
Okay.
There were limericks, and then there was drinking, and then I don't know where it went.
So you're... Can I get a marching order, by the way, while we're doing this?
Our new friend, then me, and then whatever the other two want to do.
Okay.
Then us. I assume Stan brought out his elk, so I'm on Stan's elk. Otherwise, we're going at the speed of a ground dwarf. So
yeah. Yep.
In a marsh. So at this point, the elk and Stan and Struana are having a hard time keeping up. They're kind of slowing everybody down. Trell's happy to stop and go slow, but your speed has not been exceptional. You've managed to just barely stay out of anything dangerous thanks to ClickClack. Like, hey, quicksand!
Thanks.
Giant snake!
Yeah.
did you say something about an anaconda? I'll just leave that. Sorry.
We have a limerick for that.
It's actually very well structured.
Certainly hope so. God, I can't write limericks.
And Trella is happy to get along, although her jokes are a little dark and mean as you're traveling along, but you can tell it's generally good natured. She's just transitioned a little into something a little more wintry.
Isn't there a character in The Craft that does that story arc?
I think so, yeah.
I haven't really watched it since I was a teenager. So.
I think it's all of them, but I don't remember it well either. From ClickClack, I will take a perception check, because you two are busy shouting limericks into the mist.
We're not shouting too much.
Yeah, okay. 28.
You
Oh,
can...
sorry, I have advantage on these. Yeah, still 28.
Okay. So there's a break in the mist as you're scanning ahead and around you, and in your path, maybe 120 feet away, sort of at the very extent of where it's possible to see through this fog and thick marshy trees, you can see humanoid shapes whose shoulders are about at the canopy, and some sort of swirling light flickering and shooting giant shadows through the mist a little. The light seems to be coming from above the canopy. And then the mist, the parting of the mist closes, and another thick wave billows through, and you lose it a little. But you can tell which direction. What do you do?
Keep walking.
That's entirely what ClickClack does, because we're trying to make limericks, rather.
Right? You're busy just barely making your way through the marsh. What do you do, ClickClack? Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was chewing. How far out did you say?
Somewhere in 100, 120 feet. I mean, it was mostly cast shadows that you saw, so that's your best guess. It's a good roll.
Are we just going to try to fight whatever ones we encounter, or are we trying to avoid them? I'm actually asking my party here.
We're trying to avoid them. That has been the plan.
Yeah.
Do it.
You're going to have to alter your course a little bit.
Yeah. I start looking for some sort of wide berth to give them.
Give me a survival check.
Oh, right.
Everyone?
Do you tell folks what you saw?
I try to quietly,
Right.
yeah.
As you divert course, I suppose Trello would ask, like, what did you see? Why the change?
Giants up ahead,
Okay.
trying to avoid them. 21. This is my math fix, by the way.
Okay. Can I get survival from everyone else?
20.
So, nice.
I think he stopped drinking.
8. I'm gonna start rolling a different die for a minute. That one's misbehaving. We're gonna go to the
Off to
side.
dice prison.
Yep.
But Struana, since you're being carried, I mean, mostly it's just sort of like,
Limerick writing.
yeah, you're definitely not helping. But Stan's leading the elk, and he's got his eye kind of trained now on what is solid enough for the weight of all of you. Of course, Lovelace has no issue. You manage to go around them. As you do, you realize that they are not the only pocket of this. You found a pathway, but you see a couple of, in a few different areas, scenes like that, like a few giants just standing still with shimmering lights above them. And it, like, by the second one, you probably have time to point it out.
Okay.
I wrote a limerick. I honestly, it worked for the like, I'm rolling bad checks. I'm just gonna keep writing limerick for a minute. I'm gonna put it on Twitter. Here it goes.
Yeah.
Well, we got the important things taken care of.
You could attempt to continue to evade them. You could engage. It's not like every 20 feet or anything, but as you progress over about a half hour, you start to see this is not a unique occurrence.
Right. Which
Is
we
there-
kind of do. I want to try to avoid them for as long as we can, but if I see a point where the only way out is through, then I tell everyone to get ready.
Okay.
But
Do we know
but-
what these
but-
sparkling lights are?
A nature check. Trella knows. She'll tell you right away. They're shimmerlings. What you might know esoterically about that. She's got the basic information. They are. It's sort of like pixies, but mean and only intelligent in swarms. Mostly
Okay.
vicious.
I got a 14 on my nature check.
Okay. You would immediately know that they also have sort of a hypnotic effect in swarms. They flash in different colors, and it becomes fascinating.
I instruct people to not stare.
Oh, like, okay. This makes sense. I understand this.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the bumpers as much as possible.
Okay. Give me another survival test.
I've already forgotten about.
19. Now that I finished writing a limerick. I'm paying attention.
26.
Nice.
Survival. 12.
Okay. So you guys are making pretty good time. From behind you now, you hear the sound of more combat. It sounds like a few giants may have broken free. Again, the distance is hard to tell, but you certainly hear gigantic roars and thuds. You also have the opportunity to make a perception check because of your general level of success.
Him or all of us?
All of you.
Oh, also, so that limerick casting might have given other people a point of inspiration also.
Well, go ahead. Mark it on your sheet.
29.
12.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Nice.
Nice. Anyway, you guys got an extra D10 when you want one, because I got to write limericks.
You Stan and ClickClack almost at the same time. You see perched in one of the mangrove type trees that are around, the ones with the roots above the water. There, from the branches, you can see little sort of. It's like it's dusted with very thick glitter. And you see that it's little, very, very tiny people. You can make them out, especially you, Stan, that are just sort of clinging to the tree.
I remembered my advantage on perception.
Good.
And got a natural 20.
Excellent. Well, you also see that very fine level of detail. It's definitely these shimmerlings. They are like you click the next lens and they get a little bigger, and it's just tiny little like dragonfly wing fairies with big, tiny sharp teeth.
Like the tooth fairies in Hellboy.
Yep. Oh, also with those natural 20s, you see that below the tree there is definitely a muck pool. And there are no parts showing, but you can see the depression where a giant has recently been sucked down into it.
We're gonna avoid that.
Okay.
Oh, they must be luring the giants into the pits.
I'm okay with that. 100% okay with that.
This one is going to require a stealth check.
Oh boy.
23.
There's plenty of time to cast any spells that would help. Bless is appropriate. Pass without trace, things like that. Don't forget, you're at disadvantage, Stan.
I'm at disadvantage for why?
Because your giant hulking armor puts disadvantage on stealth checks.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Would it be me or my elf rolling stealth? I guess me.
Little of both. I mean, trying to ride noiselessly in adamantine plate of invulnerability is probably...
Well, I already
Dang.
did the roll. I don't think I can say that I did bless. So I got 8.
You could if you wanted to. I said there was plenty of time, so
All right. Well,
yeah, mark it off.
that.
And you also have Struana's inspiration.
Ever tried to quietly walk while carrying a wind chime?
Yes.
I'll use the inspiration, I guess.
Oh, it was like holding both of these things and trying to remember where all of the stuff is on the floor to not step on it. Like all the
So what you told Stan?
13? Is that good?
Okay.
I don't know if that's good. That doesn't seem good for stealth.
Well, ultimately, the answer is I don't know. But
Or wait, one more I did.
well, I'm going to tell you, y'all succeeded because the Shimmerlings rolled a 1. They all just spent a whole lot of time swarming around this giant. They see, like, as you kind of pass by and you're going, you could see most of them are breathing heavily and kind of nodding out on the branch, just like, we got one. Well,
So
I won't lie. I was hoping they were going to roll better than that, but they didn't. So you guys make it through. The Shimmerlings remain on the tree. Your survival test was enough. The next hour passes basically uneventfully.
as a really general sort of question, a little bit metagaming, could I have used in that situation dancing lights to draw something's attention elsewhere?
I would let that
And away
allow
from us?
like a teamwork advantage for Stan, like to throw a distraction as part of teamwork. So it would
Okay.
negate his disadvantage anyway. So it is at about this point that you guys are going to need to find a place to take a meal. Are you going to do it on the ride? Are you going to skip it and risk fatigue? Do you have any magic way around that? Good berries? Anybody? Good berries?
I'm on the Hobbit end of like, no, let's not skip it.
Right.
Please
On
have
the
the
upside,
meal.
Struana, you're not attuned to the wand right now, so you're not consuming 6 times a normal dwarf's ration of food.
Yep. Upsides and downsides, man.
Right?
Right.
Well, I have great food and water.
You're right. Sorry, I was being attacked by a dragon.
Random encounter.
Yeah. I tried to move her and she did not want to let go.
Have snake can concur.
Mm-hmm. Your snake doesn't have claws.
No, but he's got some tensile grip at this point. Jeez. Baby's gotten big. He's like 8 years old now.
So Stan has create food and water. Any other tricks for that? I think if you took some time, ClickClack can hunt up food.
Mm-hmm.
I have pretty endless water and I have rations.
I also
jerk.
have
I'd rather not use create food and water then, because it's a 3rd level spell. So I don't know what else we got coming today. So.
I have rations, and if need be, I'm a ranger.
All right. I have some rations as well, so we'll go with that.
And we've got some of those endless water canteens.
Okay.
That's true.
Trella packs a ring of sustenance, so she is no drain on your resources.
I think we can eat on the go. We don't need to rest. We can
Nah.
we can
Okay.
fast food it.
Okay. In that case,
I'm the Dairy Queen.
In that case, another survival check as you're powering through lunch. You're not taking any breaks. This is kind of getting into forced march territory. We'll see how it goes.
Or-
Survival 17.
19.
4. All right,
I rolled
Struana, I need you to make me a Constitution save.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. So you manage, like, you have not been traveling comfortably and for a while now, but it's not taking its toll. You're starting to get a little sore, but you're able to work out the cramps and kind of shift around and do a little isometrics and a little self massage on your quads when you need to. So you're not suffering from it, but you're realizing that if you're not on point with these, like, you're starting to wear down.
I think that we should take a relatively brief picnic, y'all. Like, not set up the fortress, but if we can find somewhere to just stop for 15 minutes, that might be a good idea.
Okay.
A gas spore blows across the path.
Never mind that thing I just said.
Doesn't seem to come toward you. Just floats off in the mist. Doesn't seem to notice. It's not within 30 feet, so you didn't ping on its radar.
Can we just stretch for like 10 minutes? Because this elk is killing my bum.
You can take a short rest if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody roll me percentile checks.
Oh, God.
Overland travel is all about random.
Percentile checks, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
On roll 20, would that be roll 1d100?
2d10s?
Yes. Roll 1d100.
64.
67.
100.
Wow.
Oh, what?
That's either really good or really bad.
Stan, could you roll again for me?
6.
And one more time.
12.
Going to need either survival or stealth from the group.
Survival.
Survival.
Pick your favorite.
Stealth. 17.
25.
Also,
How'd that
I
go,
was
Stan?
rolling at a 10. They were doing bad.
I also got 17.
Okay. And that was survival from you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys managed to find a very secluded sort of knoll with an undergrowth sort of in the bowl of one of those mangrove trees that's up and has some collected dryness. You guys, especially ClickClack, has spent a lot of time out in the swamp around the cypress where he lives. So you, well ahead of time, hear giants inbound. Like they are definitely coming closer to you. You hear giant voices back and forth.
Can I gauge how long until they get here?
I'd give you a perception check.
Fantastic.
Or, you know what? I'd give you advantage on that check. We'd call it like tracking, but in this case, it's perception.
I already have advantage on perception.
Okay, fine.
You or 29.
You can pinpoint it pretty well, even through the fog. They're probably about 100 yards away and closing slowly. They're not charging or anything. Do you speak giant?
Does that come with favored enemy?
I'm not sure. I believe it gives you the option to choose one language. You might not have chosen the language of your favorite enemy.
I might not have chosen any language yet. I might not have known that was a thing.
Look it up and
When you gain this feature, you also learn the language of your choice that is spoken by your favorite enemies.
ta-da!
Yes.
All right. You definitely hear them talking about the tracks that they see, and the occasional little balled up piece of paper that contains dirty limericks that they're joking about, and they can't wait to tear apart the author.
Everybody's a critic.
Your throwaway notes on your crap survival tests have been giving away a trail.
You said about 100 yards?
Yeah, they seem to be tracking you. They will probably come near to you anyway.
So how much time does that give us?
They're moseying, assuming they make a straight line toward you. About 3-4 minutes. If they were running, it would be half that time.
So we need to GTFO and hide?
Or
Seems
just
wise.
get off of the trail we're on now and hide as best we can.
Trella pulls out, like, waves her hand, makes a grasping motion, and pulls out a glaive out of nowhere, and says, "Or we could dance, huh?"
Fair point.
I do like a good story.
Okay.
But
We dancing.
I'm just the guide. But if you want to fight, I'll fight. She did mention she was going to get sassier.
Ian raises
Sincere
the hammer.
question mark. Pause. Is the protection against protection from good and evil? I'm finding the spell. Against Fae. Does that work for giants?
Give me a nature check. For that, that is a very specific question. Let's see what the dice have to say.
19?
19 is enough. Generally, yes. These giants have the Fey template mechanically, so they count as Fey for purposes of the spell.
Okay, then as I said I'm going to do, I'm casting that on Lovelace.
What are you casting on her?
Protection from evil and good versus Fae.
Okay. Fantastic.
We talked about this like 2 sessions ago.
Oh, that was last session.
And
that
armor
takes 10 minutes. Or no, it lasts 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
it lasts 10 minutes. It's going to be for the first part of the fight. And armor of Agatheus on myself.
Yeah, I was just looking at that spell too.
Okay.
I'm going to cast that.
Do we attack or prepare an ambush?
I was going to prepare an ambush.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
open to
I
that.
follow ClickClack's lead and Trella's lead about the preparing an ambush because at tactics I have mostly an academic knowledge.
Okay. If we all want to hide, I can help you hide. I don't think we can hide Stan and the elk. I think that might be great bait.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
I'm gonna not be on the elk then. Just like slip off and be like, cool, nice. Tree over here, right?
What kind of terrain are we in?
Soft marsh, ankle to knee deep on a human. It's difficult terrain except for you, and especially not for your crab. But if people get outside of your radius, They're going to be subject to that, except for Stan because he's got a ring. So Struana.
It's squishy and sucks for me.
Yep.
Cool. I don't want to be in the bait trap. Thanks.
Trella, every time she takes a step where it's wet, it freezes underneath her as she steps, and then sort of like leaves a trail of ice behind that breaks up.
Nice.
ClickClack, very quick. In 2 words, is there anything that that this kind of giant is particularly weak against?
Would I know that?
You're the one who's most likely to.
I would accept a nature or history check while I pull up the monster entry.
Hmm. 16.
Before I make a determination, you do have things like inspiration kicking around. I
feel like I'll need it for something else later.
This is giant stuff, so you do have the advantage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was not a very good roll. Yeah. 23.
They are susceptible to things like domination and charm effects because of their very low, say, personal presence, low charisma. So they don't have much in the way of that save. They are very durable, a lot of hit points, a lot of damage output, and that curse is specifically bad.
Curse is specifically bad?
I mentioned
they're vulnerable to charm. They're vulnerable to charm and don't make eye contact.
Okay. Thanks.
That doesn't necessarily help much. Yep.
Is it an eye contact thing, or they just look at you when it happens?
They look at you when it happens. You don't have to look back.
I didn't get that last
there's a save involved. Struana, you're the least susceptible, I think, in the crew. It's charisma based. So anything you have that hurts giants? Trella says a word, and her shield goes out as an animated shield. You guys recognize that trick, and her glaive is two-handed. This is not the weapon that she was wielding on the way, by the way. She switched out her gear. Yeah. And she just fades into the shrubbery. She sort of like pulls her chain hood down, and it's all leafy chain, and the shades match the muted browns and blacks of the marsh. So she just melts into a shrub, and you see her getting herself ready.
I'm gonna go ahead and wait. We don't have a map up for this. Is there some place for me to be a little more hidden within 30 feet of Stan? Within 30 feet of the bait?
Let me really quick. I don't really have time to throw a map together for it. Just flat forested marshy terrain. You can definitely find trees and things to hide in. There's plenty of muck to cover your face. You have time to prepare.
In which case, I'm also going to put up a minor... So I have the option to put up a minor illusion in front of Stan, but honestly, I'm out of ideas for what to put up there. Can I make I don't think I can make an additional Stan with minor illusion. Right?
Can you make a giant tree stump?
Sure, I can.
I see where you're going with that.
I don't see where he's going with that, but I am down to follow ClickClack's lead about giants.
The tree stump is actually Stan.
Oh.
Thought I was the bait, though.
That thing.
Oh. Then why were you putting up an illusion?
I don't know.
To, I don't know, make him both the bait and also getting the option to attack. Stan, hold really
You
still
could-
till they're close to you.
You could make him look less formidable.
You down for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
I could also just make him look like a giant tree stump.
Right, but if he's the bait, we want to lure them. So make him look like easy prey.
Okay. And it's done. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo,
So
doodaloo.
like they were following the trail of our writing.
He looks,
Generally, you were being tracked through the swamp. They did mention a few like discarded limericks.
Make him look like a scrawny librarian whose foot is stuck in the muck.
that might be too specific. It could just be more like Stan with like 2 broken limbs.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be able to move or make sound or anything. That's the thing with minor illusion. It's 1 sense.
Yeah. You're
Oh,
just stuck
minor
there for a
illusion.
minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just beat him up a bit.
Yeah.
So as long as Stan holds perfectly still in the pose of the minor illusion, we'll let that roll.
Which, for a bait job, I suspect is not the worst.
ClickClack and Lovelace sink down into the muck and then rise back up a bit. We just sort of like mud bath ourselves.
What do you do with the token of affection?
It's behind a tree.
Right, you're
Hanging
clever.
on
I
the
won't say.
cleanest branch I could find.
I mean,
Wait,
you guys do have bags of holding.
holding?
Oh yeah, we put it away a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought we put it in a bag of holding.
Yeah, because you went underwater over the river.
Yeah.
It's in a bag of holding.
Okay. Right, because that would suck. Like, here's the
Yeah.
So, you guys all make your stealth rolls for me, and Stan will prepare, and I will let him make a performance check.
Oh, I rolled a stealth, which was low. You want me to roll performance? Or was
Just
stealth?
use that roll.
Okay, I got 8.
Okay.
11. I rolled really terribly.
Yeah, me too.
Even this die has very small numbers on it.
How was that stealth and/or survival check?
I think I typed it in for you so that I could answer that question. Let's see. Stealth was 17.
All right. Stan, you are not well hidden, and you are kind of like in and out of the, like, you're really trying to keep where the illusion is, but it's not as easy, and your elk is sort of not working with you 100%. So yeah, you do indeed see about 80 feet out is where you start to see their shadows in the mist. You see some giants. They are twisted, malformed. The shadows are, think Legend of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the big red giant at the end, like kind of twisted and all over the place. That is a good approximation of what you're seeing now. I mean, it is twice as high as Stan is mounted at the very least, 40 or 50 feet, really.
That was a deep pull, man. You mean when the villain drinks the Dr. Jekyll potion and
That is exactly the moment. Yeah. No.
out hulks the Hulk, basically?
Over Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That very same scene out of that only kind of okay movie.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun spectacle. Yeah.
I cast fire arrows on my arrows.
All right. Any other buffs go up?
We're
Shield of
thing in the muck.
Yep. Shield of Fate.
All right. Stan, would you give me a perception test? Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
That second one was legitimately a 1. The first time I just screwed up the command in Roll20.
Gotcha.
That's an awful lot of 1s in a row. How 10 total?
Yeah. Oh, that was.
Perception.
I got distracted by all your ones.
Perception.
Perception.
Everybody? Him.
That's 12 total.
Oh, I
think
didn't
it
know
was
that was in. Was that in everybody?
Is that everybody?
It doesn't matter so much for everybody else. This is to see who sees who first, Stan or the Giants. Like who gets a good bead on position. None of them are. They definitely didn't roll high enough to see. What was yours, Struana? 17 total?
That my stealth was 17, yeah.
Okay. So we'll see how that goes. One of them rolled okay after I fixed my command line.
As I approach Thomas, I take I step off my steed and I take the potion of growth.
Okay. So there is still like a broken, twisted stand in a mounted position where you dismounted from, and maybe your elk, if it can try and hold the illusion by itself. So
right.
you go.
I'd forgotten about the weakness illusion. I guess I should get back on and not take it. We were trying to attract it, and I'll take it when it's noticed me, I guess. Stan rethinks it as he sees the form and gets back on.
Okay, well, one of them definitely sees you and sees actually sees you like dismount and rethink it, and he's like, "What?" ClickClack, you hear him call out to the one in front that Stan you have definitely spotted, and he's like, "There's a knight ahead. Seems to have some magic or something. Crush it!"
Okay.
Everyone else just hears someone calling out in. Right.
Garble.
They do occasionally just gibber to themselves in sort of half giant, like giant syllables from the giant language, but not formed into. I mean, it hurts your brain a little to hear it.
Wouldn't half giant just be humanoid?
No, not species half giant, but ethno-linguista. Anyway, language half giant, half bits of the giant language.
Word talking.
Switched around. Yeah. Eldritch Cthulhu type stuff. And the other one of them points its giant club out 15 feet ahead of it and points you out, Stan, and slaps the other one on the back and says, "Charge it!" And everybody roll initiative. Those who are stealthed, except, those who are stealthed will get advantage. You have an ambush.
Yay.
That's a 22 for initiative then.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Thanks to the advantage. So 26 for me.
And Lovelace.
Lovelace has a hang on. You think I'd have this memorized by now, but no. 4. She rolled that number that's exactly not a 20.
And Stan, if you want, you can have your elk go on a different initiative. You don't have to. You can keep it as your map.
Yeah, I'll roll for it.
Okay. So ClickClack is definitely going to be first. I'll keep an eye out for your roll. Allison, what do you do, ClickClack?
How far away is the guy that was told to charge?
80 feet is the first one, about 95 for the second one.
That's within my range.
Yeah.
Come here. Right. Okay. Hey. I'm gonna shoot him.
You have surprise.
Mm-hmm.
That is advantage.
What the? Wow. I need to check the balance on this thing. 20.
20 total?
Yeah, I'm starting to suspect the balance on this thing, but I can't check that right now.
All right.
In the meantime, yeah, natural 20.
Right. Videotape the saltwater test. Put it on the channel. That is a hit. You said natural 20?
Natural 20.
All right.
Sure.
Sneak dice double.
Yeah, all the dice double, right? All the dice double, and then you add your bonuses. So,
Correct.
Oh, that was terrible. That was really terrible. Damn.
26 and then your
26
bonuses.
plus 18.
Cry me a river.
I have 2 1s in my damage. Okay, I don't have to be happy about that. I'm allowed to be more annoyed because it's on a critical.
Okay, that's fair. It does always sting to double a 1. So that's your first attack in the round.
That's my first arrow. And I don't get advantage on this one, right? It's only the first attack, or?
You only get sneak on the... No, he is still surprised.
So I still get I know I don't get sneak. That's a 1 shot per round.
Right. You still have advantage.
But I still get advantage.
Yes.
Good, because that was a small number. Come on.
And it is only because of sharpshooter that you're ignoring what the fog cover.
Right. 17 to hit. Yeah.
That is a hit.
Oh, good.
They're wearing very, very light, like patchy scale and hide armor. Doesn't really cover very well because the physique is not made for,
Right.
Doesn't make for an easy armor fit.
Total.
All right, so you fire 2 arrows in rapid succession, just right rib and neck. Now, they're very small in comparison to its great form, but there's also some energetic effects that go off. You've got electricity and flaming damage right now, so there's a whole light show that goes off on the side of this giant. It's beautiful in the fog. Very trippy.
Yeah, the fog spreads out the light effects with just like fireworks.
It's like fireworks show in Eureka.
Yeah.
Which I love. Bonus actions? Move actions.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Next up, Struana.
How far away are they from Stan, approximately, right now?
About 60 feet, the lead one, who's just sort of like launching into a charge and taking a bunch of fire from one side. And with the way you guys stealthed, feel free to kind of set some of these engagement ranges, theater of the mind style.
I am holding until they are 30 feet from, that's going to be 25 feet from Stan.
Okay. Because you're 10-ish feet away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a thing I want to do, but I got to wait till they're close enough to do the thing.
All right. Any move action you'd like to take? Because you've got your held action with the trigger. You're gonna hold. Okay.
Not this time. I'm just waiting, and
okay.
if I need to move after that, I'm gonna. But I need to do the thing first.
Okay. Well, you won't be able to move with a held action. You can delay, which would reset your initiative.
No, I'll just wait.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trell Goodmane makes a similar decision. The first giant charges, triggering all your shenanigans. It wields its great club on one, two hands above its head, just madly charging. I mean, it's kind of twisted up above its head, and it will be. You know what? Before it gets into that range, it is going to have the opportunity to force a charisma save from Stan.
Charisma. I have that. Some.
You guys see as it's charging forward, sort of a black, pale, gray tinged energy, marbled a little, like flaring out from one of its eyes. Oh, Stan.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. I got a bad roll.
You have.
I would like to point out that if being Fae, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have advantage on saves against it?
Oh no, that's not.
No, I've reread this 3 times looking for that.
Please,
but it's there. I can't be I can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay. All of those are very important things that are not this thing.
You do have a 1d10 you can add to your roll if you think it'll make a difference.
No, I already used that when I was for another roll earlier when I was trying to be stealthy, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stan, you'll be taking 20 psychic damage as pain just racks through your eye all the way back through your brain. I know for a fact you've had a blinding eye tension headache. This is that thing all at once.
Oh.
None of that.
It then closes to range, sets off triggered actions before it gets its attack off.
Is it me or Trello first?
It is. It will be you. You were above her in initiative. Your triggered action goes first.
Guardian of Faith. He's gonna be between. We got suddenly an enormous winged David Bowie between. And fabulously between Stan and the giant. Just like, would you like some? Reaches out and slaps him.
The great white Fey Duke.
Mm-hmm. With that graphic from Zoolander. Hey kids, it's David Bowie.
He needs to make a dex saving throw, which is versus 14.
Well, that is not his top-notch save, and he doesn't roll 68 for saves. He rolls a 2. So that gives him a grand total of 2.
So that's 20 radiant damage.
That's smart.
Like and suddenly there's bagpipes playing.
Oh God, I love that all your battles turn into a Bowie concert in the background.
Yeah.
Steven looks injured right now.
No, my brain immediately starts mapping out a Bowie-themed bard.
Right, noble background, the White Duke.
Start playing under pressure and do crushing damage.
Nice.
So it's 20 feet from you. It passes through Bowie's glorious radiant damage. Your guardian of faith, right in front of Stan, essentially, and tries to swing through, like, around Bowie. He's not going to hit it. It's not like the guardian of faith doesn't take damage, right? Doesn't have AC or anything. It's just an area effect that happens.
Yep.
Just so beautifully poetic. Anyway, but attempts to swing at Stan anyway. As he's bringing the swing down, Trella Goodmane casts her Misty Step and pops up behind him as he's taking the last few steps, and he triggers an attack of opportunity, and she takes it.
Nice.
She's very tactical. Ugh. But did not roll well. Let's see how that goes.
Since this is gonna cut out in any minute, I am at 2% and really hope that you keep rolling terrible next session.
So she hits it just barely. We'll do some damage, and it is then going to have its speed reduced to 0 at its last step. Come up short for its shot for Stan. And take a little bit of damage. She gets him in the heel, kind of trips him up for a second. What? Damn! And it no longer has its attack option on you. It can redirect and attempt to attack her, though. With some middling damage. She seems to take it well, and her armor sort of folds in around where the impact happens, and is resistant to bludgeoning specifically. So, and she does okay. It wasn't a crippling blow by any means, but she's not going to want to keep that happening. That's the first giant's turn. Second giant. Now now gets a chance to see where you all are, and it was the one that rolled better. And of all the things I think it wants to make stop happening, it's probably going to be the spellcaster. They're cagey and vicious, and you're going to need to make a charisma save.
What?
Charisma save.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to figure out okay, what am I doing next? I didn't realize it was me. Good Lord. Okay.
You should be good at this.
Right? You
Right.
think? 19?
That is an excellent charisma save. You're only going to take half of this upcoming dice roll. 15 damage, and I'm going to need a concentration. That will be a Constitution save. Constitution check.
$20?
That will do it. You maintain concentration.
Okay.
Go team.
And then it will charge forward and attempt an attack at Trella Goodmane. Failing miserably. but well out of her range to do anything. He's 15 feet away, slamming away at her. The other one is much closer. Have we named your elk yet, Stan? It's your elk's turn. Oh, yes, Strong?
Just one. I've been counting down my fingers. I got 1%.
Oh, 1%. Okay.
You know, what was your question, Thomas? My elk.
It's your elk's turn. I don't know if you've named it.
Yeah. I feel like I may have, but I have forgotten.
Lawrence.
Lawrence. All right.
Lawrence Elk.
Oh,
So the ram, it's
Deep.
it's gonna. Is it what? How far is it from the nearest one?
are you still on it?
Yeah, I was
20
going
feet.
to get off, but you. Well, I was going. I had triggered an action, but you never let me take the triggered action. I was going to take a potion of growth as soon as it had kind of gotten in range.
I'm sorry.
Is that cool?
I
Taking
failed
that.
at that.
And that would actually, so that's going to be Stan's action. So he would have gotten off. But if
Oh, wait. Stan, what was your initiative? It was low, right?
yeah, it was low. Oh, you talked about triggered actions. I didn't know if that was if that was part of that.
Oh, but it was still a 12. So you do go before the elk. I'm sorry. I had that.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well,
Stan,
Stan
20
gets off
feet.
the elk and he takes
Okay.
the potion.
dismount as a bonus action. You can use it to down. I'd let you do them both at the same time as a bonus action, like activate potion.
Okay. Sweet.
Movement action.
How close is the closest?
20 feet. And you now take up 10 by 10.
I'm going to stand my ground.
Okay. Go total defensive. Take the dodge action.
I already took an action, taking a potion and getting
Oh,
off
okay.
the.
Yeah, you're right.
And FYI, I realized Shield of Faith also requires concentration, so I don't actually have that set up.
Okay.
Just, protection from Faith. And that's
Got
my
it.
turn.
Now it's your elk.
The elk will ram.
Okay.
Bye, ram you.
Loveless is
Go
on
for
deck.
the decap.
You really want that to be the last thing you say?
With a 22.
That is a hit. A palpable hit. Jan looks a little confused about what just happened.
11. That's max damage, ET dubs. Right?
Lovelace is up.
Lovelace, I didn't specify this before, but Lovelace is crocodiling,
Okay.
and she's just going to turret pivot me, tracking the giant, so I don't have to
Okay.
worry about that. And that's all she's doing.
All right. Dodge action, I assume. Total defense, disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then, as we are in the midst of Mortal Kombat with giants and an Elandrin ally in the marshes of the Feywild, we shall leave that on a cliffhanger, partially due to technical difficulties. This is GameBreakers. My name is Thomas. I'm here with Allison, Diamond, and David. We are playing A Bard's Tale 5th edition, and thanks for joining us. None of this happens without you. If you like what you see, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you want to make us help us get this thing rolling a little hotter, make it a little bit better, check the links in the doobly-doo. See what we have. Meanwhile, have a good game.